Hello, brains, and welcome to another podcast, Potluck, here on the Edge with April Mahoney. My guests, Jessica, Sanchez, Romo, and Stephaine McGuffie. Okay, New Mexico, Colorado, California, and can you believe it? We're here in makeshift Hawaii, and they done lost Stephanie's luggage. Who does that? Okay, but that's all right. We got cocktails and fish tacos, good conversation. Yes, and what did you bring, Precious? What is that? That looks delicious.
I've got, when you're in Hawaii, when I was there, everything is sweet. So I have some raspberry pineapple glazed chicken with green beans. And being from New Mexico, I had to throw the chili in. And I've got some, Polynesian kind of twist on it with the noodles. So the rice noodles and everything, vermicelli. So, and some fresh dates.
Wow, and you prepared it yourself?
Somehow along the way, us women get to multitask and get everything done. Even when luggage is missing, you can still get on and be here on the edge with April.
Well, I mean,
so hello, brains. Hello to Brain Nation.
Jessica, you are doing a lot as a medical doctor. The Enlightenment Circle, that's absolutely wonderful. Working on a cattle ranch. Tell my brains a little bit about you.
So yeah, hello brains. I'm Dr. Jessica Sanchez Romo, right here with you all. I am a medical doctor who has decided not to practice medicine and to instead follow my gifts that I've had all my life and follow my gifts as a natural healer. So I am a multidimensional healer, international healer, speaker, and light worker. I work as a medical medium. I'm a medium, a medical intuitive, energy healer, Reiki master, so many different things like we all do, right? We work with so many different modalities, and that's why I say multidimensional healer, because when we start to limit ourselves, when we just kind of put ourselves in certain modalities in certain sectors. So I work with a lot of different things, a lot of different ways for a lot of people, and being a medical intuitive, people say, hey, well, you don't practice medicine. Did it all go to waste? What's going on? If I see something going on in the body, at least I understand the pathophysiology. I understand what's going on. I'm not here to give medical advice these days since I chose not to be licensed, but I can tell you, go talk to your doctor about this. But let's talk really about what's assisted in it manifesting in your body. So many times we have illnesses that actually manifest. And I know Stephanie's talked about this a lot because we discussed it. And you've had people on your podcast about it. But we have different things, cancer, all of a sudden cysts in our livers or in our kidneys or something that manifest. And if you think about it, livers and kidneys are filters for our physical body, but sometimes they're filtering our emotional and spiritual stuff too. So it manifests into a physical form, and we can kind of deal with things in different ways, not just with Western medicine and traditional formats, in an emotional, spiritual way. So I kind of assist people in guiding them through the path. Doesn't mean that I'm the only gifted one. We're all gifted. Each one of you out there, brains, you've got your gifts, but it's about just learning how to have somebody help you guide through to your right way. And that's what I work on with people. So it's a pleasure. And then I do the farm and ranch thing as well.
Cleaning up stuff. Let's talk to you, Stephaine.
Yeah.
I just love what you do, okay? You have a way of making the most simplistic things just apply to real life application, like an Aesop fable. You get the wisdom in the end, and I just appreciate that. They're short, they're sweet, they're concise. I love the one about the apples and the dogs. Girl, I done played it a million times. A million hits on them, and I hope so, because I'm gonna continue to play them. They're wonderful.
Thank you.
But you also have a very powerful business. What are you doing there in Colorado?
Yes. We are a commercial janitorial service that specializes in all areas of business, commercial construction, demolition, residential, medical offices. We just have been really expanding, and very grateful and thankful to the people of Colorado to have chosen us to be special at this time. Right now it's our season, and we are enjoying the ride.
Well, you don't do forensic stuff now, do you?
No, we do not.
Okay. I got a friend that does that, and girl, girl. She makes a whole
That
lot of
is
money
so
because
cool.
that cleanup is cold-blooded when you go in after, you know, something catastrophic has happened. So she
Yes.
gets every penny.
It
So,
takes a special person to do that.
so not only are you that, but you're a woman of God. You are
Yes.
very spiritual. You two are very intuitive. Tell us about the offspring of your business and your own personal growth and development.
What I have turned my spiritual side into my testimony, and I try to live my testimony every day through my videos, through my posts. I make sure that me, my values, my spirit is reflected in what I write, what I say, and how I appear to others. And that has, taken me to my book, and
Mm.
it allowed me to write my book, No Longer Second.
What's in the pages of No Longer Second?
It is a journey of a broken woman that took every nook and cranny and fall and punch with dignity and grace. And this is the end product that you see.
That's right. A winner, a winner.
Yeah.
So now you two have decided to be coaches and inspirations to others. Jessica, tell us a little bit about how is that received in New Mexico? That's a very kind of spiritual place. Plus, I heard there's some aliens there. How are people well, I can't wait to come and see. But how are people receiving what you're delivering? You know, because we're going to talk about the cattle ranch in a minute, but how are they receiving your form of medical care and treatment? Is it well received?
You know, New Mexico is such a beautiful place. It's not just by chance it's called the land of enchantment. It's sure we've got Roswell, we've got aliens, we've got all kinds of sightings throughout the state. We also, I'm of the families that came from Spain a very long time ago, settled here, never left here. New Mexico was landlocked. It was a desert. No one came here. No one left here. You really didn't have anyone coming here until like the atomic bomb that they kind of started paying attention. Is because we kind of minded our own business. So we didn't even really know what was going on. So you had these beautiful cultures coming in. What you did have is you had the Spanish mixing with the Native American tribes. So there was so much natural healing already learned. And there was so many curanderas, even through my family and everything. And it was something very widely accepted. You didn't have doctors. You had housewives or people who would be the one that would birth the children, or medicine men, or other people that came from Spain that were trained to be these healers. And then we got a little bit scared through the times and community, and we all became more hush-hush. And it was one of those things that even within my own family, there was kind of like, oh no, maybe you should just hold up, don't say that, because even as a society on the whole, I don't think just in the US, so there's a lot of other countries that are a lot more open to it worldwide, we became more fearful of it. So it was kind of time for me to come walk out, but there's so many people that come to New Mexico looking for spiritual healers, medicine men, medicine women, Reiki masters, shamans. I happen to be a shaman as well. So they're always coming to New Mexico, but it's something that, depending on who you talk to, how it might be received. Somebody, and this is anywhere in the world, any of us that are living in our fears, just like you're saying, you're not second anymore. You're now this beautiful, strong, powerful woman. And a lot of times we stand second in this box because we are sheltered around what we think we're supposed to be doing or accepting or how it's supposed to be. So when you find that right person, it's very well received, open arms, understanding, really embraced. And then other people that they're just not ready for it yet, and that's okay. And I don't have just clients here in New Mexico, I have clients worldwide, and that's what we're all doing. We're trying to bring light in beautiful different formats for people when they're ready, in a comfortable way for them so that they're ready to receive and figure out the best way for them to be moving forward in a positive way in their life and transform and transmutate.
Right. Stephanie, tell us, what are you looking to pour into people? When you do these wonderful videos and you give these testimonials and these wonderful simple statements, what are you hoping that your audience receives from those messages?
Yes, I'm hoping my audience receive the pathway to their own self-healing, the holistic journey of how can I be a better me? Just plain and simple. how can I be a better version of myself every day?
Right.
Every day.
Because it takes work, girl. It takes a
Yes, it
whole lot
does.
of work. And that's what
Yes,
I
it
do
does.
here on the edge. So let's dial back and not be so serious, because we are at the podcast potluck, and I don't know
Yes.
what I was drinking, but mine is probably good. It is good, good, good. So I want to talk a little bit about work-life balance.
Mhm.
All of us work. How do we stay balanced? Me, what do? I make me time. I give myself so many hours that I work on the device. I separate from that. I meditate in the morning. I go out and try to do exercise. I try to cook a good meal, all the things that you say you do. But how do you really decompress? You, before you can pour into someone else, how do you keep yourself balanced? Let's start with you, Stephaine.
I always take my morning meditation time seriously. And I'm learning not to be so structured. I'm learning how to embrace inconvenience. If
Mm,
it doesn't go one way, let's just go with the flow. There's a stress to try to be, scheduled, everything on a time basis. And sometimes it doesn't work that way. So I allow myself to be inconvenienced, and then that removes the stress from the situation. I go with the flow. If I can't cook dinner at 12 o'clock and I have to cook dinner at 3 o'clock, okay. If I have to take the sugar babies to school, then I take the sugar babies to school and come back and we make it work.
mm.
But that quality one-on-one time, that quiet time is essential to who I am. I need that to connect upwards.
Right, 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 right. How do you do it, Jessica?
Oh, go with the flow is the biggest thing. That's the hugest point that she just made. And I think you're saying the exact same thing. Making time for self, and time for self can just be a quick breath.
Yep.
That breath with intent, breathing it in, it's something I use when I'm getting stressed in a situation, something's not going the way, it doesn't matter who it is, a family member, a loved one, somebody at the grocery store. You just take that breath with intention and breathe in that divine guidance and that divine light. I like to say God's breath. Let God's breath come in and it'll help you resolve so much. But a lot of times when I'm just taking my shower in the morning, that's the time that it's kind of like, okay, clear and cleanse me.
When you're butt naked, I love it.
Yes, well, that's why we came into this world, right? Let's be real.
For your true, authentic self when you are butt naked, okay? So
Yes, it's like the best way to be.
how cute is
Everybody, coming up, the next potluck podcast.
Exactly. Exactly.
But no, yeah, seriously, you're in the shower, you're there. I just say, okay, let me not just wash my body, but let me spiritually clear and cleanse any negative residue, and then just shower me with blessings. Shower me with your holy light.
Yes. What you doing? You blessing us? You laying hands on us? Okay, we gonna take it. We gonna take it, sister. We got it. Let me ask you a little bit about. Let's talk about social media. Getting some people that's been caught up in their feelings. And so, how seriously do you take your social media platform? It's huge, okay? The reach is massive. People don't realize, they think they're just talking into the device, but you're talking into the entire world. And everybody is not going to be receptive. Everybody's not going to receive it. And for some reason, everybody really thinks that they're your friend. Because you connect with people, and I done point and clicked and shared and, told you how my dinner was and all that kind of stuff. But friendship is so intimate. I need to touch you. I need to feel you. I need to argue with you. I need to agree to disagree. I need to share with you. It's more than a point and a click. How do you guys feel about being so visible on these social media platforms? Stephanie?
Well, when I first started my social media journey, I was very closed off. And I must say, because I kept my private life very private. But once I started to heal, I opened up my social media to the public because I knew that if I gave the best of me, there's no need for me to shelter and hide anymore. My business my word, my testimony, my business needs to be seen. So why am I hiding? I opened it up, let people say what they say. We can have a conversation about it. If you want to message me and we can fix something, you don't like something I'm talking about, we can discuss it. but we must remain respectful. That's the number one rule. You can tell
Absolutely.
me anything you want to say, but you have to do it with respect because I'm going to respect you and I demand the same.
Exactly. And, the conversation just gets all out of sorts. And, I call it keyboard courage. Typing and all, they got a whole bunch to say, but they in your face, they go in the totally opposite direction. How do you handle that, Jessica? Because I know with me, I'm pretty open, but I'm pretty reserved. Like Mr. Magnificent, he ain't having it. This is my world. This is not his world. He ain't trying to do all of that. Mama comes in and out, but my personal life and some real deep personal things, I'm not going to share with people. I don't need them to comment on that. How do you feel about that?
I'm on this in-between space. You were talking about how everyone's connected, and I think we're talking about different generations because I'm still that whole, I love where if we're all three together, or we've had at least Zoom meetings or something like that together, we feel that more personal friend connection. Millennials and everything, they just feel the connection. Energetically, I know all of us are connected. We're all connected in each other's heart and soul and universe. So I take it and I mold it. With social media, I kind of have where, my husband's out there. He's vocal about certain things. Him being a former Marine as well as a police officer, he talks about certain things that he's been through. That's why I was doing the Heroes webinar now for anyone who served in any format, anyway, and their loved ones. And so you're going to talk about certain things because I can't hide everything because I'm talking about life with people. I'm being that life coach. So I'm going to share part of my life. But at the same time, Mr. Magnificent, I have to respect some of his boundaries or some of ours as what we share as a couple in a vortex. So it can be a slippery slope. And when somebody's out there on social media that might be reacting, I haven't really come into the situation, thankfully. It's all been positive energy, positive feedback, but I have in other situations in my life, being in a small town, I have come out and said something, or somebody said something about my family, and you've been unjustly characterized or slandered, and it was not done with respect. Then I just either okay, take a step back, send them some love and light because they obviously don't have enough in their life. So send love and light and support around them, so that the right positive people come in their life and help them with that transmutation and transformation. And then you just say, you know what, like the whole saying way back when in the Bible, forgive them because they know not what they do. And I just say, I'm just not going to let it get to me that much. That's their energy. I send it back with love and light, so that therefore it crossed my boundaries into my protective zone for my lessons and my growth, but I send back just love and light to them so that they get through whatever they're supposed to do. But it is a slippery slope with the whole social media. You see people out there all the time getting reamed for it. How much do you share?
I took some of my brains to the Dr. Phil show this past week. And one of the segments was on this young woman that was on Instagram. And she was alleging that she was making $50,000, $60,000, $70,000, $80,000. And because she had so many followers and all of these stars that she had slept with, and it was a pretty sad story. And then she said that she was going to consider committing suicide because Instagram had shut her down and she lost her audience. And she was absolutely nothing with her audience. Mm-hmm. And so I bring this up because it is a strong platform. There is a lot of visibility. There are ways to make money, but you have to dial back and you have to, say, you got to have a sense of balance.
Yes.
You got to be able to weigh it. I don't care if you're 55 or you're 15. When you feel in your heart that something is not right, it's not delivered right, you didn't say it right, think before you hit that send button on emails, because it's like a bullet. Once you fire it, it ain't no turning back.
Yes.
Talk a little bit, since I said it, let's talk a little bit about our personal lives. Pandora's box. Jessica, you live on a cattle ranch. Now I want to ask you a couple questions, because, we're going to have the vegans sending me an email and, this, that, and the other. And I like meat. But I want to talk about the ethical treatment of animals. And, how does that work on a cattle ranch? Because they're, either they're going to be slaughtered or, you're milking them. What is that like?
You know, I think back in the days, ranching, farming was a way of life for all of us to survive. That's how we ate, even from nomadic days. You hunted, but there was a gratitude that you would give to an animal before you kill them, or even after you hunt. You would give gratitude and you would say, thank you for the sacrifice of your life so that therefore I may be nourished and that I can continue my life. So I will continue to be a person who gives love to the land, gives love to my family and everything else because of the sacrifice. And that's the way I was raised. So I've always, a lot of farmers and ranchers I know as well have that respect. They are some of the best people who are taking care of our land, who are taking care of our animals. Yes, at the end of the day, I know that there are animals that are going to be, and I don't want to use the word slaughtered. I know we said that word, slaughtered, when you were asking the question. Their life is ending in this physical world as we know it, but the plants end as well every time we are eating them. Fish end as well every time that we are using their nutrients. And I think it's about how we go back and say, thank you, plants, for this life that you're giving me. Thank you for the nourishment. I was an animal science major prior to ever going to medical school. And as ruminant animals like cattle and sheep, they have 4-compartment stomachs. And within that, they have certain enzymes that they break down the grasses and forage into amino acids that are necessary for our bodies to function. And so therefore, that's in their meat because they process it, they break it down, and now it's in their meat. When we do happen to give gratitude for these animals and consume the meat they've provided, then we are now getting those amino acids that are necessary actually for our human lives. So it's like this whole chain of circle. And I think it goes back to the whole respect issue. Looking things at respect. If you're a very spiritual person, but you're not religious, say your prayers, send the energy, ask the universe to be there with anything that you're consuming, love and light, you know. And if you're religious, like I happen to be, and that's the way I was raised up, then you say your prayers and thank God for that. Thank the animals and thank all your angels, thank everything around you. And that's the way I know most farmers and ranchers to be. I know the part on the slaughter end can seem horrific. I've seen it, I've studied it. The way we raise animals for the beef production. We're not necessarily sending all of our animals off to slaughter. We're doing more the genetics end. So we try to increase that in beauty, but we've always taught, hey, treat them with respect. When you're out there taking care of your cattle, treat them with respect, because eventually at the end of the day, somehow, some way they're providing for you and your family, whether it be on your plate, whether it be through finances or anything else. That's why we also take care of the land in certain ways too, for them.
Right. And you know, it's how you prepare your food. I pray over everything, over this fish taco that I'm about to consume, because I thank the sacrifice, I thank the person that prepared it, the person that shipped it, you know, all of that, the nourishing of my body. And my daughter one time was a little miffed at me and made some tacos. Girl, she was slamming the pots and the pans, and she was doing this and doing that. Your food's ready. And I was like, oh, no, I'm not eating that. She said, well, why not? I cooked it. I said, because you didn't prepare with love. I said, you prepared it with anger and hostility. I'm not eating that.
Right.
You know? And so it all depends. So talking about preparing food, here you are in Colorado. You're working hard. Tell us a little bit about, you know, what's going on, what you're seeing with the younger generation and, you know, making a home, making a meal for your family, preparing things. Are you still kind of old fashioned like that, Stephanie? I am. I love to cook for Mr. Magnificent and, you know, clean my house. And, you know, I just like to get my hands dirty. Do you feel the same way?
Yes, I actually do. I cook home cooked meals every day, and I, you know, feed those around me home cooked meals. But I noticed that my children, their parents themselves, they're a little fast food ready. They want it quick right now, you know, stop and pick up something. I'd rather show my love by feeding you.
That's right. Feeding your soul, feeding your soul. Well, you know what I did a quick survey.
Yes.
I wanted to ask men, what did they think about these 4 questions? Let me find my questions, because girl, it was, I don't know what happened to me. I got one of them wild hairs up my ass and didn't have no tweezers. So I said, well, let me just run with this. Where is my questions at? Okay, so I asked men 4 questions, and these are like random ages, different ethnicities.
Uh-huh.
And the 4 questions were prioritizing when it comes to your woman. What is the most important to you? Is it her being able to be financially responsible and good with money? Do you want her with a super tight body? Do you want a good housekeeper? Or do you want a cook? A good cook. You know, because Mama always said the way to a man's heart is through his stomach, okay? And so what do you guys think that the top rated answer was out of all those 4? I'll give it to you again. Do you want a woman to be financially smart, you know, good with money? Do you want her to have a tight body? Do you want her to be a good cook or a good housekeeper? What do you think ranked number 1?
Good cook.
Is that what you think, Stephanie?
That's what I think.
Okay. What do you think, Jessica?
You know, I'm sitting here thinking, like, do you want to tell us what age range you pull?
You know what? And it was a large demographic. I mean, I did.
That's what I'm sitting there thinking, like,
yeah, I did about 20.
I'm going to be surprised with the answer, I'm sure. But, like, I'm sitting there thinking about how I've talked to so many millennials right now, and it's all about the money. They want the money. And then I see, like, other people, the body, and most everyone else, though, it comes down to the cook, clean kind of homemaker thing. They still want that. They need that. They yearn for that because culturally. So I'm like, I'm right here. I'm stumped. I'm like, I have no idea what this answer is. Because they want that whole package.
They want a woman that is smart with the money.
Wow.
It was the top rated answer. I just knew it was going to be a tight body.
Tight body.
I was like, money is good. I thought it was money first.
You know what I'm saying? You want to be in good health, okay? But they were serious about that. Men are really wanting women to be more financially and fiscally responsible.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe, I don't know if that's paying the bills or not spending so much, spending so much money, on other things, or learning how to invest or looking long term. But that was the number 1 answer. The second answer is that they want a good cook. And this dog here, okay? I think he want me to throw him a bone. But they want a good cook. They want somebody that can prepare them a meal. You know, that's still very important to them. I thought that housekeeping was going to be up there too. But if you're living with a responsible adult, they can pick up after themselves.
You can pay for
Pick up after themselves, then they don't worry.
Correct.
And the tight body. I just knew that was going to be the top 1 or 2. It was not the top 1 or 2. It was, the bottom of the 4. I don't know what this dog is. Let me go check on this dog real quick. And you guys, hold on to the audience for me real quick.
Oh, right.
Well, I was there thinking that the money was the first thing coming in intuitively, and I know I've just been hearing a lot of it on the news lately. I've been hearing a lot of it from other people, my husband and I talk about it as well. And for him, he's always said, you're beautiful inside and out, but that's not the main thing that has always been. It's been your brains, it's been who you are, your logistics and everything else, how I can relate to you. He says, you're always everything I want in a woman, but everything I want in a best friend as a guy. So, I kind of, money was the first thing that I was kind of going on, but just because I've heard so much, I was telling her in the news about it lately. It's just been one of those topics, hitting.
And I had said, the homemaker, the cooking, because a lot of people want more settled lifestyles now. They want the comforts of home. They want peace and happiness, and a lot of time that is equated to food.
It is.
Just those comforts.
All the time that cooking and food is a meditation. You're preparing it, and you're spiritually connecting with it, and you're putting all the right ingredients, and you're stirring it, and you're serving it, and sometimes you're feeding it. So all of that is so important. That is so important. I would like for each one of you ladies to tell us how to get in contact with you. Jessica, tell us a little bit about how we can get in contact with you if they want to do a little bit more deep diving, if they need a Reiki master, great coach, great piece of filling.
There you go. So I'm just going to put the name up so it's a little bit easier. Enlightened Circles. You can find me at enlighteneddcircles.com. I have a Facebook page. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. You can like and follow me. I share information, but enlighteneddcircles.com. There's different webinars I have going on. I'm doing one right now for the heroes, which are those who have served military, police. It's free for them. It's going on the next 2 Sundays as well. And if you register still, you'll get all of it. Love to have any one of you there. So anyone that you love or know, we need to service our servers as well in beautiful ways and give back. So you can find different webinars that I'm doing, different things I'm doing throughout the year. One of the founders for the Waves of Light conference is in January, and I'm super excited. Hopefully maybe you two ladies can make it, and if not, maybe next year we can have you be some of our speakers at the conference.
Wonderful. Yes. That would be awesome sauce. And Stephanie, how can they get in contact with you? Maybe they need a service, cleaning service there, and if not, a copy of the book or a good word of wisdom, good story.
Yes, I'm on Facebook at Stephanie McGuffie. And I'm on Instagram at Stephanie McGuffie. So it's really simple. And they can also order No Longer Second on Amazon in Kindle format and in paperback. So right now I'm working on audio, video, and classes. So I have a plethora of services that are going to be offered in the 2019-2020 new year that I'm excited about. New growth. They better catch me while I'm on the climb.
I know, before you get out of reach. And me, friends, you know, I'm right here. I'm on the edge, okay? Always teetering back and forth, you know, and people say, why is it on the edge? It's not because we're hostile. It's because we're sharp. We're edgy. We're pointed. We're right at the tip. Okay, we're right at the turning point, and that's what I want you to do. I want you to be excited. I want you to be motivated. I want you to be encouraged. I want you to be enlightened. I want you to eat good. I want you to clean up after yourself and save you some money. And you can do all of that by following us on Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn, Facebook, Spotify. I'm all over the planet. You're going to see this postcard, and then you know you're a part of the tribe. Yeah? So I thank you from the bottom of my socks, ladies, because my heart just isn't deep enough.
Thank you.
Okay? Be sure that you come back to the edge again and keep us posted on what's going on.
All right? It's my pleasure.
All right. Bye, Greg.